Team, welcome to another episode of Ask Top, sponsored by MentorMilitary.com. I'm your host, Command Sergeant Major Retired Mark Garrett. Today we're going to talk about Raider and Senior Raider profiles for the Army evaluation system. Keep in mind this can be used for any military evaluation system and, for that matter, civilian evaluation systems. But this is part one in a series. Make sure you watch part two because it goes into a lot of different details about questions you should ask and be thinking about while you're writing the evaluation report. But let's go ahead and get after this. Let me see here. So, what are we looking at? What references do we have? The standard references, 623-3 for the evaluation system. 3, 4, and 5 can be found at the MentorMilitary.com site under top sellers. But appraisings, ratings, and reviews actually sets you up for success. It discusses ways of rank ordering your subordinates and working through the process. Then you have the evaluator, which goes through the entire evaluation system for you with plenty of sample bullets, comments, and Raider Quick automates all of this stuff and puts it together so you can develop your own digital evaluation process. It has a lot of information about relief for cause and information, all kind of stuff. So with that said, important information. What are your resources? What's available to you when it comes to profiling your the individuals you rate? What research will you use to arrive at your decision? How do you get there? How do you determine your top blocks? Who gets them? Who owns them? What are the consequences, intended and unintended, for individuals that don't get top blocks or get rated or blocked in a method they don't deserve? What is your rank ordering system? So when it comes to intended and unintended consequences, if you have a system, then you have the capability to know that what you're doing to the best of your ability and not willy-nilly. Then you have to verify that your system works. So there's what I call an initial rack and stack. So you do this right off the top of your head. You rank order your team, and this is based on what you hear and what you see every day. There's no facts in this. This is your gut feeling without using factual data. And it provides you the ability to see your bias when measured against racking and stacking using factual and tangible information. As I said, it'll give you a cross-check when you look at it across your deliberate evaluation process. So here's a random rack and stack. So we have these individuals and we just randomly have their names down. And this is what we came up with. Yeah, Sarah's good. Robert, Mike, yep, they're great. So this is the way that we just randomly stacked them. Now we go through our initial rack and stack. So we pick our top 3 performers. Those should be pretty easy for anybody to pick. You should be able to pick those. Then the middle, man, they're kind of questionable. But you also know who the bottom 3 are. So when you do your rank order, think about who's my top 3, who's my bottom 3, because everybody else, honestly, falls in the middle. So that's a quick way to rack and stack. Now we've done that without any information. So this is your initial rack and stack based on gut feelings, observations, what you think you know about the individual. Hey, if you get a chance, stop by MentorMilitary.com. We got everything you need for professional military development. If there's anything I can do to help you, feel free to reach out to me in the description below. Give me a comment. Let me know what you want to hear about in the future or ask me a question. Looking forward to hearing from you. There is a link to MentorMilitary.com in the description below and a link to the products that we discussed earlier. So the value of a notepad. Use a notepad, either physical or electronic. Why? Write down what individuals do well, what they need to sustain, what they need to improve upon, how they've been recognized, what counselings have been conducted, what coaching have you done, the evaluations you've seen, awards, promotions. These are all things that you can just write down a few minutes a day for each soldier that has achieved something or done something that day worth mentioning, positive or negative. Okay, so the power of that notebook is incredibly powerful. Can't emphasize that enough. All right, so with regard to resources, we've got your personnel files. This will be your counseling stuff, your coaching, counseling records, disciplinary issues, awards and achievements, personal observations, recent promotions, recent projects they've worked, 360 feedback from subordinates, peers, and superiors, senior management comments, previous evaluations. You might want to look at those if the soldier wants you to look at them, but keep in mind this evaluation that you're writing for must be based on information contained in that rating period, in the current rating period. So looking at previous evaluation reports, kind of a sensitive subject. If it was me, I wouldn't do it because it doesn't matter what they did in the previous one. It matters what they're doing now. Okay, input from the soldier achievement folder. Remember, I've said that in other videos I've talked to you about soldiers having to have achievement files, and I made them carry them. Just a little note or a manila folder that they could throw in their APFT score, certificates of achievement, they got coined, whatever it was. They had to bring that achievement file to every counseling session. If they didn't, they got a counseling statement for failure to obey an order. So I was serious about it, and it really helps. Think about that. All right, again, appraisals, ratings, and reviews. It's going to teach you how to rack and stack and other ways of scoring your individuals. So there's a lot of great information contained in this publication. Then we've got RaterQuick that I've talked about earlier, which is our software version of the evaluation system. And everything you need to know about evaluation reports and counseling can be found in the evaluator. Those are all available at mentormilitary.com in our top seller section. So what's your research look like? You need to use all of your resources. Think through the information in a critical way. Evaluate the soldier using the whole soldier concept. What do I mean by that? Hey, think about the soldier in the totality of the situation. There may be things going on that allow you to rate this soldier in matters of extenuation and mitigation. So think about the whole soldier. The soldier is newly promoted to a position. Were they ready for that position? Odds are no. Because most of us, when we're promoted to the next grade, we're just probably getting good at the last grade we had. You may think you're ready for E5, you may think you're ready for E6, but odds are you're going to have to spend some time in that position to gain wisdom and experience. When I was a sergeant first class, I knew how to be a platoon sergeant. After I was a platoon sergeant for about the second time, I think I was probably a pretty good platoon sergeant. I knew how to be a first sergeant when I was an E7. When I became a first sergeant, I was probably an okay first sergeant after I'd been a first sergeant twice. Now, then it came to me, hey, I'm not really ready for these assignments. I'm being picked based on my potential. I had wisdom and experience, and I had good things going on for me. But was I ready for that next step? Not necessarily. So make sure you're grading your soldiers based on the whole soldier concept and the complete totality of the situation. They may be making mistakes simply because they're new. It's your job to coach them. Doesn't mean they have to get a top block, but it most certainly doesn't mean they have to get a bottom block. Get rid of the emotion. So, areas to consider during research. What's their education? Are they continuing it? What have they done for their civilian education? What can you talk about in terms of competence, training, leadership, accountability, responsibility, safety, ability to work with others, problem solving, critical thinking, discipline, sexual assault and harassment, punishments. All of these things, think about them, make a list, consciously make questions for these. Evaluate these areas when you look at this specific person. All right, once again, reach out to us at mentormilitary.com. Looking forward to seeing you there. And make sure that you stay for part 2 of this episode or this series, because you will find some incredibly good information there. Don't forget to hit subscribe and stay tuned for our future episodes. Until next time, stay safe and stay healthy.